If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. It is 7/15/2024. It is it's an insane day. I finished up with the trading wars, and there's just a lot of buzz going on about the 2024 election. I'm going through Twitter, just watching all of the conversions, all of the independents that are now basically going Trump's way. People finally realizing what he's been talking about this whole time, what all of the quote unquote crazy conspiracy theorists have been predicting all this time. And even after that, you see so many people, if the people in Hollywood and the music industry, I just saw the Jack Black concert video where he made a wish that was absolutely repulsive. I mean, I'm just shocked by some of these people. And, they always say when you see someone's true colors, believe them. So I'm going to believe them. And I'm completely, I'm excommunicado with anyone that I see just pushing nonsense. But we've got some good stuff going on. Obviously, the market's been doing really well today, and I've got some cool news to cover. Cardano's Mithril upgrade has been discussed and unveiled by Charles Hoskinson. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over Donald Trump's apparent vice president pick, a very pro-crypto individual. We're going to cover that. We're going to go over some charts. And so let's go ahead and dive into it, and let's see what's going on in the world, because, there's some fun stuff happening. Cardano's Mithril upgrade has been unveiled by Hoskinson with an impact on Cardano's price prediction. Over the past 24 hours, the Cardano price has seen a modest 1.56% rise amidst a wider market revival. Following the Mithril upgrade announcement by Cardano CEO Charles Hoskinson, ADA appears to have more upside potential. Cardano has made major headway since last Monday with a 20% excuse me, with a 20% gain, surpassing most other notable altcoins. As we always say, that's what Cardano does. When everything in the market's rising and Cardano, is kind of hanging out, everybody likes to put out all these terrible narratives about Cardano being dead or whatever. And we've seen this every cycle. This is nothing new. And then Cardano starts ripping. Significantly, this surge has displaced the losses suffered over recent weeks. It now stands at a monthly 6.48% gain. Despite this, the altcoin has seen a slight lapse in trading volume, falling 5.17% to just 378.22 million over the past 24 hours. All shucks. Hoskinson announces groundbreaking Mithril upgrade, Cardano price impact. There is no set date for the implementation of Mithril upgrades, but it is cited to go live later this year. However, it already seems to have influenced traders. According to data from crypto analytics platform Into the Block, the surge over the past week is attributed to gaining significant whale activity. The transactions of those holding $100,000 in ADA or more surged over 3.5% over the weekend, reaching $8.87 billion. It's so amazing when I think back to my days in 2017 where I first discovered Cardano and started talking about it at a time when nobody knew anything about it. Nobody was talking about it. And I truly do feel like I discovered something. And I'm quite proud of that, if I'm honest. This follows Charles Hoskinson's announcement of the Mithril upgrade, cited to supercharge the speed and efficiency of nodes and syncing times. This should probably affect a lot of dataless users, because you see a lot of people that don't fully understand why they download dataless as a wallet or what it actually is. And a lot of people don't realize that the download and syncing process of dataless, especially if you're not opening it and syncing it on a regular basis, you're downloading the entire node. Like you're literally downloading the entire node to your computer and you're syncing everything up with the other node. So, it takes some time sometimes, especially if it's been a few months or so since you've logged into it. This should definitely change that and help speed that along using a stake-based signature scheme. This allows applications to operate without the need to run full nodes or validate every transaction on the Cardano chain. The upgrade aims to expand the use cases of the Cardano network by improving overall effectiveness and enhancing security. Cardano added in its community forum, with Mithril in action, node syncing will be faster and more efficient than ever, bringing a new level of security and decentralized decision-making to the community. A closer look at the charts reveals that the announcement may have had a profound long-term impact on the Cardano price. That amongst other things. I mean, considering the fact that the Chang hard fork is gearing up, which we're going to look at the data for that here in a little bit. Most significantly, it has reinforced Cardano's renewed uptrend. Activity over the weekend has pushed the 200 moving average from a side trend to a notable uptrend. Yes, indeed. So this is obviously having a very strong effect on Cardano's price. So I'm very bullish about that. BlackRock's CEO, shocking endorsement. Everybody should own Bitcoin. Interesting. Let's go ahead and expand on this a little bit so you folks can read along. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, spoke about the company's record in asset management during an interview on CNBC. Fink addressed the importance of sustainable economic growth and investor confidence in the firm's success. The CEO positively reassessed Bitcoin as a legitimate financial instrument and praised the success of the iShares Bitcoin Trust. It's funny because, now all of these institutions that finally have their investment vehicles in play have about face and are now wildly supporting Bitcoin and blockchain tech and everything else. We're going to continue seeing more ETFs launch, likely an Ethereum ETF coming soon. And I'm sure whether we want it or not, we're likely going to see a Cardano ETF as well. And I personally, like I've said, I really don't want I don't want a Cardano ETF, but it is what it is. It's probably going to happen regardless. So why Cardano could be the next big thing in crypto, a bull's perspective. This is a good dude. I really like Dan Gambardello. I don't know how the hell he gets so much press coverage, but good for him. I'm a little jelly, I'm not going to lie. ADA, the native token on the Cardano blockchain, could witness explosive growth in the long term as technicals turn bullish. According to Cardano bull Dan Gambardello, the current Cardano daily chart reveals promising signs with 6 consecutive green daily candles, meanwhile, the weekly chart also suggests an upcoming bullish move. I really like his content. Whether you like me, you follow me, I would encourage people to also watch him. I watch him sometimes just because, he's so good at just basically shining light on things and just like, no matter what's going on in the world, there's always hope for Cardano. Like there's always something going on. There's always something to be bullish about. He's really good at that. I think maybe it's that Christian mentality. I don't know if I've ever met a true Christian that wasn't generally just a pretty happy person. So good on him. That Crypto Jeb is another one. I really respect those guys. Even though I'm not really a religious guy, I respect those those kind of people. As of press time, CoinMarketCap data shows ADA's price at 43 cents, almost 44 cents, up nearly 2% in the past 24 hours. The altcoins trading volume has dropped. We've covered some of this stuff. But ADA's market cap is at $15.75 billion, making it the 10th largest cryptocurrency. In the past 7 days, the digital asset has risen more than 25%, outperforming Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So yeah, that's really good stuff. And it's going to continue getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I honestly believe that once the Chang hard fork officially launches, with which some of the activity with that may be getting priced into Cardano right now, but we'll see. I really think that the month of August is going to be astronomical. I'm expecting to see somewhere above 80 cents by the end of August for Cardano. Pro crypto Ohio Senator J.D. Vance is Donald Trump's vice president pick. Oh my goodness, it's finally happened. Now, I don't honestly know much about this guy, but you can be damn sure I'm going to be learning everything I can about him. Trump said that the Ohio senator will be strongly focused on the people he fought so brilliantly for, the American workers and the farmers, and Lord knows they need all the help they can get. Former President Donald Trump, the presumptive Republican nominee for leader of the United States, announced he chose crypto-friendly Senator J.D. Vance, a Republican from Ohio, my home state, Cincinnati, here we go, as his vice presidential candidate. Can we get a hooyah? I shouldn't say that. I'm not military, but it sounded good. After lengthy deliberation and thought, and considering the tremendous talents of many others, I've decided that the person best suited to assume the position of vice president of the United States is Senator J.D. Vance of the great state of Ohio. Trump wrote on social media app Truth Social. I need to start following that, daggone it. JD has had a very successful business career in technology and finance, and now, during the campaign, will be strongly focused on the people he fought so brilliantly for, the American workers and farmers in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Ohio, Minnesota, and far beyond. Vance odds of being nominated for vice president on crypto-based prediction market platform Polymarket stood at 70% on Monday, by far the highest among all competitors. The Hillbilly Elegy author and venture capitalist was a favorable choice among leaders in the crypto space, given its previous efforts to bring clearer legislation. He most recently drafted a bill that would revamp how the U.S. regulates digital assets. I remember reading this, and I actually shared this, but I didn't know who he was very well at the time. According to Politico, which sources said would be even more crypto-friendly than a bill that was passed by the House in June. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and Florida Senator Marco Rubio were also seen as likely candidates to be Trump's running mate, but were reportedly informed earlier Monday that they were out of the running. Oh my gosh, folks. Can we see how the narrative is starting to change? We've got all of these big institutions and a lot of people on the left. I mean, we know Larry Fink is a hardcore lefty. We know that a lot of these institutional players are leftists, but they are supporting crypto, even though the current administration does not. However, we've started to see a bit of an about face when it comes to what's a security and what's not. And we're starting to see a lot of the narratives that the left has been really pushing as it relates to blockchain tech, cryptocurrencies, and digital assets. And they're basically starting to pull back and say, you know what, we fought the fight we could fight. We did what we could. It's like a moot point at this point. Judges are starting to throw a lot of these cases out. Judges are ultimately coming down saying, listen, this is not a security. We're done with this. And I just think that, at this point, I think we're well established with under this, basically the original idea of the fact that the majority, like 90% plus of the digital market, are commodities, not securities. And so I think it's going to allow a lot of people to breathe a little easier, to work a little more effectively. And ultimately, I think we're going to start seeing some real significant innovation in the blockchain space in America, which is where we need it. Think about it, folks. AI is conquering. Robots are going to be taking a lot of jobs, and it's going to continue growing and growing and growing. And there are a couple sectors in society today that if you're not getting, like I've been working myself on a lot of AI automation. You'll start seeing a lot of content and things on cryptocrow.io. Go check it out. It's good shit. But the way I've spent 3 days just trying to fine tune an automation that's going to allow me to take the news in the crypto space, mostly relevant to Cardano, but other stuff as well, rewrite a lot of it. In a cool way, like it's gonna be more fun to read, but ultimately the same information written in a different way, spit it out on my cryptocrow.io blog, And then I'm going to start automating that to go out to all of my social media outlets. And then I'm working on a bunch of other things as well. On top of that, I'm working on I'm going to start learning Python. I really want to learn Python, people. I just feel so stupid when I'm reading it and I'm trying to learn, because it's like, to me, it's almost like reading fiction. I space out. And it's like, there are some things that I can take really complex ideas, and I can take a lot of really big stuff and condense it and reorganize it and regurgitate it in a way that's more easily consumed by people that don't know or understand things. But when it comes to programming, there's something about that is just inherently difficult for me. And it just may be my approach. It may just be the ways I've tried to learn, the books I've tried to use. But I get really, really bored if I don't feel like I'm making significant progress in a time frame that I want. And I think that's a part of my hang up. But I'm going to be using AI to try and learn it, because I'm getting back into bot trading. And there are a lot of different bots. I just set up a grid bot on Pionex, and I've got a few others. I might be going back to Profit Trailer here soon and really exploring that again, because that made a lot of money for me and you, and the content was really good. I was sharing my stuff. I've already started updating people on my locals account, which is where I'm going to be basically reporting a lot of my day-to-day activity in the bot trading world, because I'm not going to be doing videos on everything, but I am going to be sharing a lot of that on my locals. So make sure you join if you haven't joined that already. It's like, you've got to start learning AI. You have to start learning how to utilize it for things that you can do in the world, and start doing it, man. I mean, because there's so many different opportunities to be able to utilize AI to make money. And I'm going to be starting to cover a lot of that stuff in my locals. And if people want it, if you guys want it, I'm happy to get into doing AI automation videos and basically AI-based content on this channel, but I just don't know if it'll do well. A lot of you guys are here because you just want to get rich with Cardano, right? You've been following me forever. You've done really well. It's a new market season. You're like, what's Crow got to say? So, we'll see. You guys have to let me know in the comments what you guys want. And if you are a member of my locals, let me know in there what you want. I'm always looking for ideas on how to help everybody. So let's go ahead and start looking at some charts and what's going on, and get to that. And if you haven't yet, go buy some damn t-shirts, folks. Go to my shop. It's cardanoclub.myshopify.com. If I start really booming, I'll probably get a new domain, its own unique domain. But two of my favorites are this one, ADA, the future's currency, which we're going to see more and more of that in the not so distant future. And I love this one, which I hope someday is, I hope we're able to do more and more using Midnight and Cardano when it comes to voting in different countries, maybe even the US. We'll see. And then my other big one is this one, Let's Change the World. This one means a lot to me. It turned out really, really well. And I'm going to be wearing that myself all over the place. And people are going to be like, hey, you misspelled change. And I'm like, no, I didn't. It's this Chang, the Chang hard fork. And then I'm going to go on a tear educating people on Cardano. But some of these are fun, so you got to check them out. Some of them are relative to the year you discovered Cardano. And I encourage you to pick one up. Now, let's look here. 9.00 Node Software we're at about 20% still, and I think we're going to have more and more people continuing to add. Let's refresh this to make sure we've got the latest statistics, because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so we're at about 20%, and we're going to continue moving up. But I think, a lot of developers are basically gathering the tools and checking things out, seeing what other people are doing. And this is the post I just made on my locals account related to the Pionex trading bot and the Bitcoin Wyckoff confirmation, which I'm about to show you. Let's see, maybe right now. Nope, it's not that one. This one. So this is confirmed to me. Okay. So I was sharing this Bitcoin price action. I was sharing this on a 2-day chart, ultimately explaining how this is a textbook Wyckoff re-accumulation. And we were down here, and then we kind of got this big wick as we moved to the next candle on a 2-day. And I thought, ooh, this is looking shaky. Like, are we going to confirm this as a spring, or are we going to continue going further and just reject the entire idea of this pattern. And lo and behold, we had a little bit of an indecision candle and then we ripped. And so, yeah, here we are at $63,400. We're confirmed that this is going to continue moving on. And I believe that we are going to continue moving up, up, up. And I am expecting to see somewhere around, 78, 79,000, maybe a wick up to $80,000 for a new all-time high by the end of August. That's what I think is going to happen. Anything could happen, so don't go crazy with leverage and try and trade all of this, because you're still going to get ebbs and flows in the midst of all of this price action, even if this were exactly to the T what plays out. But if the continuation, if the confirmation of this Wyckoff reaccumulation does play out, this is basically what the levels should look like once we get to the end of August. And that's just my take on it. We'll see. Yeah, what else are we looking at here? Cardano looks to be kind of trending sideways a little bit from here. We had a big boost all the way up to 45 cents, came all the way back down to 42 cents. And then we got above this trend line here, which is, it's kind of averaged out. And you can see just in the candle, this is a 4-hour candle here, that we're basically right dead center in the middle of an indecision candle. And from here, we'll have to see what's happening. RSI is a little bit on the high end. It's just under the 70 mark. So we could get a little bit more of a pullback. We could go back down here, bring this RSI back, and then we start shooting up again. ICP has been doing very, very, very well. Those of you guys that follow me know I bought this basically at about 650. And I did a video on ICP when it was about 750. And I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to buy this somewhere around $7. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to. Lo and behold, it got all the way down to about 650. And I went ahead and I bought in. And here I am. I'm basically up $3 over the past, was that a week ago that I did that video? I really do think ICP is probably going to have a really good run this season. And I'm excited to see it. And I'm especially excited to see these runs when everything else is moving. So, let's take a look real quick at what's happening in the Bitcoin's liquidations. Wow, liquidity is really, liquidity is setting up on the high end. Okay, these are a lot of people that believe the price is going to go down from here, and I really suspect they're going to get liquidated. Look at all this money. This is billions and billions and billions of dollars. Oh man. Basically, if Bitcoin's price just gets to 65,000, $300, you're just looking at billions of dollars that are going to get liquidated. Absolutely mind blowing. Even up here at 67,500, it's not quite billions of dollars, but if the price rips all the way up here, it's going to be, the market makers are going to have a field day with this, especially with all of these narratives that are just spitting out all over crypto. Let's be real about it. Saturday's events have ultimately, between Saturday's events, Trump's vice president candidate or vice president pick. This is all going to start turning really bullish. I really do think that this year is going to send crypto in an entirely different playing field. I don't think we've seen a bull market yet that is going to even come close to what I expect to see between now and the first quarter of 2025. I really do. I think a lot of lives are going to be changed in the crypto space. There are going to be a lot of lessons learned, like every market cycle, especially for a lot of newcomers. A lot of people that are basically just, they're focusing solely on meme tokens and just kind of shit coins that have no real fundamental value outside of being a highly marketed pet rock while the market's hot. I'm sorry, folks, but I think a lot of you guys are going to get burned, because when a lot of those tokens take a dive, they're going to take a dive before everything else. And you will be the last to notice, I'm telling you. So be very, very careful in the meme coin market. I really don't think that there's going to be that. Some of them are going to run, don't get me wrong. But I think a very select few are going to run and actually hang around throughout to the peak. But to each their own. If you're having fun and you don't mind losing money, then kudos, have fun with it. But I would definitely encourage you to get into some more fundamentally sound projects for the long term, because we may never see prices where they are again. There's something that tells me that, you know, the $43,000 mark is going to be the next bottom after Bitcoin peaks out. But I could be wrong. We might not see a bottom. Like I've said in other videos in the past, this could be an ongoing cycle. You know, we may not see that pivotal peak at the top. We could see a little bit of a fake out, kind of like we saw in the 2021 market, but instead we continue moving up. Because as we all know, there's, you know, especially with folks like BlackRock, Larry Fink, and these gentlemen, they're basically they want to tokenize everything. They want to tokenize all the real world assets. They want to tokenize all of the stuff. And I actually have a list of real world assets I'm going to be covering in the not so distant future. I might try to cover maybe 2 in a video, and then I'll throw one of those that are just specific to my local supporters, because I got to give you guys some special stuff that you're not getting anywhere else. So I definitely plan on doing that. I am going to be covering some of these real world token assets, as well as like the bot trading and other things. So, you know, listen, I appreciate you guys following me. I appreciate all of your support. Listen, I have a great afternoon and the rest of your day. Crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.